The Colonoscopy and Its Many Teachings by Greg Beattie. Cast: Bill in his 60s, Beth, his wife and contemporary. Location: front seat of a car leaving an endoscopy center. Beth is driving.
That wasn't so bad, now was it?
Colonoscopy? Not bad. You know what I now realize? I am a tube. I starved myself, drank that disgusting vile brew for 12 hours, blew the contents of my entire digestive system up my ass, got knocked out while 2 or 3 people pulled down my pants and stuck a hose up my anus. And the only thing I'm going to get out of this is the realization that my colon is a 24-hour diner for bacteria, a microbial food channel, literally. Oh, and that another deeply unpleasant and thorough health inspection finds my innards worthy of their continued patronage and expected to stay in operation for at least another 5 years. I am, at bottom, so to speak, a tube. Admittedly, there are some life systems, heart, brain, etc., attached to keep the tube healthy, keep the temperature and the conditions optimal for breeding and feeding the little beasties, and keep things flowing more or less regularly. Oh yes, and of course there are gonads for creating lots of little replacement tubes for when this one shuts down. But all of me, the whole thing is really just a microbe maintenance pipeline.
I hadn't thought of you that way, dear, but I'm starting to see it.
Why would any organism be so devoted to running a free hotel for other life forms? It is our innate, uncritical, indefensible sense of self-importance and freedom. It's an ingenious evolutionary adaptation. As our body devotes more time to providing free room and board for trillions of these little creatures, compulsively finding something for them to eat 3 or 4 times a day, staying hydrated to keep the water level optimal in a public pool that is our gut, exercising so that our hollow core can support and stay toned to support this massive colony sheltered in the very center of our being. We strut around congratulating ourselves on picking a ripe peach and eating it, brewing a fresh cup of coffee and sipping it, buying a great pair of running shoes and jogging in them. We're just the delivery system. They're the real beneficiaries. And what do they do for us? They lie contentedly like a Kardashian on a tropical beach, eating, drinking, screwing, whatever they want. No conscience, no remorse, nothing but hedonistic self-indulgence. While I go out and jog another 5 miles before a 10-hour shift at work.
You don't jog anymore, and you're retired. When's the last time you worked 10 hours?
That's beside the point. I'm talking about the injustice of it. I'm sure if they could, they would take selfies of themselves lounging and send them to me just to rub it in. It's like having a zillion teenagers. And then the final insult, they take all those lovely peaches and coffees and turn them into what comes out the other end for me to deal with.
You seem a little off, honey. They said you would be loopy from the anesthesia.
That was not anesthesia. It was the elixir of truth. That it's so clear now to me.
Actually, dear, next time they put that probe up there, ask them if they can find your head.
You do think this is funny, do you, Mrs. Tube?
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. You just seem a little worked up.
You'd be worked up too if you shared my new, deep insight into how shallow our lives really are. It's blown my mind.
From the sounds coming from the bathroom last night, I'd say something was definitely being blown. But aren't you overreacting just a little, darling? Maybe you're just hungry. You haven't eaten in quite a while.
Well, of course I'm hungry. My little friends haven't had their morning beauty bath in my favorite yogurt today, and they're letting me know it.
There are some saltines in that grocery bag over there, and herbal tea in the thermos. That's what you're supposed to eat.
Is that what it said in the poop sheet that they gave us? Ha! Poop sheet!
Yes, and I think it's wise to follow their directions. Just have a couple and see how they sit.
Come on, Betty. You know me and my iron stomach. I'd rather have some real food.
And what do you consider real food today, Bill?
How about a chili cheese dog? I'll go with the 1 alarm chili.
I'm afraid that's off the menu for the time being, dear.
Haven't you been listening to what I've been saying? I'm not in control of this. My bacteria send their order to my brain, and I must slavishly obey. And right now, they are ordering their Wiener Schnitzel. It's not my fault. It's like I'm in the Matrix, except for control center being up my butt.
Well, luckily, your little beasties don't have a remote to control my brain, and I'm driving. So they're getting saltines and tea.
All right, all right. I'll see if I can get them to compromise. How about a glazed donut? That's just saltines with a little more fat, yeast, and sugar. And hold the salt. It's low sodium.
Oh, Bill, I'm just doing what's good for you. You're still not quite right, dear. Let's face it. You've just been through what could easily be taken for an alien abduction. A bunch of blue creatures disrobing you, drugging you, and poking you with probes.
Exactly. The ultimate indignity. But it's worse than aliens. The doctors even have a video on a big screen so everybody can catch. For all I know, it's on that online social media thing.
Think of it, honey. You could go viral.
Yeah, just to make that Mike Zuckelboom guy even richer. You know, I don't think you are really hearing me here.
You're coming through loud and clear. You did not like the procedure. You're feeling violated. You don't like handing control over to authority figures, whether they are doctors or microbes. You don't like reminders of your mortality, your vulnerability, or your powerlessness in the face of the stark reality that, in the grand scheme of things, we are mere specks of dust being blown around by forces beyond our reckoning.
Okay, maybe you were listening, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. And what have I got to look forward to? More hairs growing where they got no business being, more spots in a deathly palette of unnatural colors on my sagging skin, more aches and pains, each of which is more likely to be cancer, toenail fungus, hemorrhoids, toenail fungus on my hemorrhoids, more procedures performed by more teenage doctors, more friends passing to the great beyond.
Well, let's face it, honey. You didn't really have that many friends to begin with.
Oh, thanks.
Come on, dear. Cheer up. There's nothing so bad about having a nice little place to live, a little garden in the back, time to read, a wife who still puts up with your crusty old man act, who will be there for you when you need a ride, who will pack your saltines and tea, who will say no when you ask for chili dogs, who still loves you.
Since when is saying no to chili dogs an expression of love?
And a daughter and a 3-year-old grandson who also love you to visit every now and then.
In Chicago?
Well, lots of direct flights. It could be worse.
Lots of dollars and time to get there. It could be better.
Remember Woodstock?
What? Where's this coming from? Neither of us were there.
Not the place. The song by Joni Mitchell.
I always thought that was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
No, Joni Mitchell wrote it, but couldn't be there. You remember the chorus? We are stardust. We are golden. And we've got to get ourselves back to the garden.
Sounds like you want me to weed the tomatoes when we get home.
Oh, no. It's saying we do matter. We're not just dust. We're made of the stuff of stars. And our job is to find our way to what is sacred, what is holy.
Well, I doubt she was including in the miracle the denizens of her large intestine. They're just little assholes.
Oh, you're impossible. I'm just trying to get you to see
Red light! Car, look out!
She brakes and turns sharp right. They both lurch forward left. She hits the left side of her head on the driver's window.
Jesus, that was close. Beth, are you all right?
I think so. I just bumped my head.
Okay, pull over so I can get a look at you. Christ, you're bleeding up there, Beth. Oh, look at the blood. Beth, honey?
Head wounds bleed a lot. It's not that serious. Let's find something to bandage it. Ooh, I am a little woozy.
Don't we have paper towels in here? Kleenex? Why don't we have anything when we need it in this goddamn car?
I think we can use
Beth points across his chest at the grocery bag with crackers sitting next to him. He's panicked and thinks she's indicating his clothing, so he takes off his top shirt and starts dabbing her wound with it.
The napkins I put in the grocery bag.
Oh, well, it's too late for that now. No matter.
Still panicked, puts entire shirt on Beth's head, pulls out cell phone.
Shall I call an ambulance?
No, I'm sure I'll be fine. But maybe you could find a way to get your bloody shirt out of my face?
Oh, sure, sweetheart. Sorry.
Takes out the napkins, removes shirt, and dabs the wound with the napkins.
Well, that doesn't look too bad now. The bleeding's almost stopped.
Still woozy?
No, not really.
Here, have a cracker and some tea.
He gently feeds her the cracker and blows on the tea in the thermos cap before giving it to her.
Would you like me to crack a window and get a little fresh air in here?
Oh, that would be lovely, dear.
Bill opens the window and lets out a big sigh and sits silent, hunched over, one hand rubbing his eyes, his body heaving slightly.
Bill, are you okay?
That was too damn close.
Oh, darling, we're fine.
And it was my fault.
I should have been watching the road.
But you were instead staring down the jerk in the passenger seat, having a tantrum worthy of our grandson. I almost got us killed with that little rant.
You were being a tad unreasonable.
I'm sorry. I love you. I want to be with you forever. Don't leave me.
Where in the world is this coming from?
I'm afraid of dying alone.
Well then, it's lucky we nearly died together. Oh, Bill, I have no intention of leaving you, darling. What would I do without you?
Drive home more safely?
Well, yes, but it wouldn't be nearly as memorable a journey.
She kisses him.
Let's go home, my golden starlight.
End of play.